This is our project. Our company was called West End Coffee Company. My name is Catherine Joyce.
Philip McKenna.
I'm Diego Andrade.
I'm going to talk about the strategic vision for West End Coffee. They want to produce a freshly roasted, high-quality coffee product. Next, I'm going to talk about their location, customer, and supply chain. As you can see here, their location is not ideally located. There's some foot traffic, but not a lot. There's no stores nearby, so that's going to cause problems when it comes to foot traffic and having many different people wanting to come in and look at the store and products, because they do have an area that you can come in and buy stuff from. So
I'm going to talk about the people. Who are they? Well, they demonstrate three people: John, Becky, and Brian. John and Becky went into a relationship before buying the business, and then they invested in the business. John invested the most in the business, and Becky invested the less. Now I'm going to judge each of them. John is the owner of West End Coffee. He believes that Becky brought in Marcus in order for him to go out. John doesn't know how to roast coffee, and that's difficult for being in the business of coffee. He did not have clear who was handling sales and who was handling operations. Now that makes it also difficult. John doesn't know how to handle financials also. Becky, she's also the owner of West End Coffee. She also doesn't know how to roast coffee. She did not have clear about the financials and how to make accountants, and she almost screwed up a sales meeting that Marcus went in for them in order to get more sales. And Brian, which is the son of Becky, he knows how to roast coffee, and he helps them out.
the next part we're going to talk about is the process. One of the things that I want to talk about is how inefficient the production line was. Excuse me. As we remember walking through the store, they had things piled everywhere. They didn't know exactly where things were. They didn't have an efficient system in place. The second thing I want to talk about is an efficient inventory system. One example was all the flavors they had, and some would sell, some would not, and they kept having them all. So they want to cut down on that to have a better supply for what they actually need to sell. There was also no progress, and because of the destructive relationship between Becky and John, which halted any progress that even were to happen. For example, when Marcus had left for the 2 to 3 weeks towards the end of the episode, he had asked them to do very simple things. For Becky to go through and reorganize the shelf. And when he came back, they had not finished, so it obviously showing that there was not an effective work ethic there. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was they had a lot of extra product, the flavoring, that was expired that they had to get rid of because the inventory system they didn't have one in place, so they weren't able to plan for it ahead of time. So they just bought large chunks and had surplus. Next thing I want to talk about is the production of, actually, coffee bag. Coffee bag itself costs 31 cents, while the beans inside cost $3, whereas labor costs 12 cents, clip costs 8 cents, and label costs 3 cents. And then the total cost was $3.54, where they were able to sell it for $12. One of the problems that we've noticed was that they are selling it in 16 ounces, whereas the competitors are selling 12 ounces. So they're literally giving away free product, which is a problem.
Okay, I'm going to be speaking about the product. They sell pound bags of freshly roasted coffee in a variety of flavors. I actually purchased coffee directly from their website, as they do ship to their consumers that live either far away or don't feel like driving all the way down to their location. The flavor that I purchased is called Christmas Morning. It actually smells pretty great, and I was going to bring it into class today and have everybody smell it, but we ran out of time. They consistently brew quality beans. It's for the coffee drinkers in the market that they are trying to reach to. They sell 8 ounces more than the competitor for the same price, so they're actually losing a huge margin of profit by selling more than they should be. They also have their product in several different retail outlets, such as Whole Foods, Fresh Market, and they also, like I said, they do ship. They do appeal to a mass audience, and like I said, Marcus is not a coffee drinker, and he did try West End coffee, and he thought it was a great tasting coffee. So Marcus did come in and he tried to fix their business. He came in and offered them $200,000 for 51% of the business, and they would have John and Becky equally split 49%. $100,000 of the debt was supposed to go back to the money owed to the bank, which is what John used to buy the business in the first place, and then $100,000 was supposed to go to working capital. He wasn't going to raise the price, or raise the money he was going to give them because of the two of them, John and Becky, because they are a wild card factor and they have the potential to ruin the business in a matter of seconds because of how explosive their relationship is. They did accept the offer, and I would have taken the offer. Debt-free is easier. It's easier to grow your company, especially small businesses. You don't want to waste time worrying about debt. You want to focus on growing your business. And Marcus projected the business making 3 times as much after the following year of him coming in and helping them. To continue, he attempted to fix the people. He reassigned, he asked Becky to resign as director on the qualifying pension plan to reduce tension. Becky was actually, like I said, the director on the qualified pension plan, and this was something that John had used to help purchase the company. And this caused a lot of tension between them because she had the potential to fire him, and she had only given 18% of her money to the company, so this was sort of something that she could hold over his head, and this caused a ton of tension. He attempted to improve the process by figuring out a way to obtain raw materials without going through a middleman, so they went to go directly to the beans to get them to reduce costs. He also reassigned roles to Becky and John. He had John focusing on the sales accounts and making follow-up calls to the businesses they had already previously had meetings for. And Becky was in charge of the warehouse, which was, she was supposed to be ordering stock and organizing it and creating an inventory system. Providing an inventory system would improve their product by utilizing the maximum space and producing the maximum amount, which would in turn give them more profit. What happened to Marcus? He actually withdrew his offer. There was an incident within the episode, and John went behind his back and tried to sell the company. And in quotes, this is the text message he sent to Becky. He said, "I am more than done. You have no savior. We will sell this for our original investment and start over without each other. Marcus is irrelevant at this point. The business will be listed tomorrow, Miss 18% owner. You will be lucky to get to get our initial investment back, and after that, good luck." This unfortunately blew up in John's face, and Marcus was very displeased by hearing this, and he was very upset, and he got up right up in his face and said, "Look at here, buddy, I'm irrelevant." And then, as Phil had previously said, the assigned roles went belly up, and it was like Marcus had never been there. So Marcus withdrew his offer and wiped his hands clean of them and was done.
What would we have done differently? We would have done the same as Marcus, except for being a little bit more strict. We would have given John his original stake, but we would make it so he could not actually work for the company during the same time because Becky had more assets involved in the company, physical assets. So we would suggest that John go and find another job